What's good, YouTube? We are back again with another video, and today we have an old school comparison. This is a Jordan 11 from 2012. I believe these released December of 2012. I just want to make sure for sure. So this was the holiday release for 2012. Obviously, you can see it has the low cut patent leather. It is, obviously worn. I wore these, numerous times. Interesting how different the newest model was. So I believe these came out in 2019. I mean, they almost look like two different sneakers, man. I mean, it's crazy how different they are, and it's only because of the shape, right? It's literally the same exact sneaker. I mean, hold on one second. Let me just put them in opposite hands. Literally the same exact sneaker. Because of the patent leather cut on these and just the overall shape, you get almost a completely different shoe. Funny enough, real quick story. This is the sneaker that actually brought me back into collecting sneakers. So I've always been into sneakers. There were moments where I wasn't as into them as I am now, or as I was the last 10 years. But I always kept my eye on sneakers. I always thought sneakers were dope. At that point in my life, I just wasn't into them for some reason. My cousin gave me a pair of Jordan 4s playoffs, and that kind of reignited my spark again for the love of sneakers. I remember this sneaker coming out, and I thought that this was a must-have. And ever since then, I've been pretty much collecting nonstop, right? So now, what was maybe 20 pairs of sneakers 10 years ago has become a shitload. So with that being said, I just wanted to give you a nice little comparison. Shout out to this shirt. I actually got these created and customized myself. I know somebody who has an embroidery company, and I reached out to them, and she's super awesome. It's actually a close friend of my close friend. I asked her if she can make these. She did about 4 shirts for me. So I did the Jordan 11 Breds for one of them. I also have a Jordan 4, a white cement 3, a Concord 11. So it's super cool to kind of have these on a shirt. I think it's a nice little touch, kind of subtle, but also shows you into the sneaker culture, right? This is 2 different sizes. I used to be a 9.5 primarily. 9.5 sometimes fit me, sometimes they don't. So I've actually gone to a size 10 for pretty much every sneaker, and it's a much better, more comfortable fit. Some sneakers fit me in length 9.5, but they don't fit me in width 9.5. That's kind of the sucky part. So going up a half size has actually been a much better and more convenient situation for me. And honestly, you don't ever want your toes to be right against the end of the sneaker anyway. You want about at least a finger or so of room, because that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be crunched up. Your feet not supposed to look like, they're stuffed in a drawer or just chopped up, right? You don't want to beat up your feet to where it's too uncomfortable. So these sneakers here, I have a funny story. I played basketball in the 2001 pair. So a friend of mine, I have lent him some money, and in return, instead of giving me money, he gave me like a bunch of cool sneakers, which I thought was pretty cool. He ended up giving me the 2001 Bred 11, the Flint 13s, and a bunch of cool fucking sneakers. So I actually played ball in these, and that was the biggest mistake I could ever do, because if you guys don't know, patent leather and summertime do not mix. Literally cook up like in the microwave, and that was definitely super uncomfortable after a while. So there's that, right? But as you can see right away, the 2 differences, or the main differences, are the patent leather and then the white leather cut that you see, which is very reminiscent to how Michael Jordan wore his pair. You saw the white cut patent leather as well. So real quick, the Reds, I mean, although these are aged sneakers, the Reds are very similar. I believe this is a varsity red used. I'm not too sure. Maybe a true red. Again, I'm not too sure of the exact red. As you can see, the shade of the red is very similar. They're not too far off from each other. If I had to say, I mean, obviously age can darken a red. These are both translucent, by the way. Even the Jordan 12, some models are translucent as well. So they kept the translucent bottom into the Jordan 12. But you can see the translucent on the tip of the toe here, right? And then you could just see how the leather is on both. So this has the high, thick patent leather. This one has the low cut patent leather. One thing that's unfortunate, or slightly unfortunate, is that these do crease up, and when they do, they're not as nice as a Jordan 4 or Jordan 1. When they do crease up, I would say the rope laces are about the same thickness. And then we have the Jordan Jumpman on the tongue, about the same again. And then the Jumpmans are 2 different directions. So this is accurate to the OG, the way the 2019 pair were. And then this was how retros were after some point. I don't know the first retro where they had the Jumpman facing towards the back. That's not how the originals were. So that is, you know, a different thing. I'm glad they're getting back to the point where they're putting the Jumpman in the right direction. And then we have the backs of each, and they're two different backs as well. Much higher cut on the patent leather on this one. You also have Nike Air on the insole on this one. You have the Jumpman logo on this one. And then the carbon fiber is another huge difference here. The 2012 is much more of a gray and black, while the 2019 is much more of a black and white. So pretty cool to see the differences between these two models. Bred 11s, man, this is probably one of the most exclusive or most famous Jordans that Mike would actually wear. Of course, the Chicago 1 is absolutely up there, but the Bred 11s or Jordan 11s, the Concords, these Jordans are just an absolute classic. Just wanted to give you guys a look at these, a little trip into memory lane. Pretty cool to see. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We out. Peace.